Hey Raiders fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Las Vegas Raiders. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. Mekhi Becton's arrival at the Las Vegas Raiders has completely shaken up the NFL landscape, and no one saw it coming. Out of nowhere, the massive offensive tackle, known for his raw power and freakish athleticism, is packing his bags and heading to the desert. Raiders fans woke up to a social media explosion as insiders dropped the news that Becton, once seen as a cornerstone for the New York Jets, is joining Silver and Black Nation. This move didn't just surprise fans, it blindsided analysts, insiders, and even players across the league. Becton, who's had a roller coaster of a career filled with potential and injury setbacks, now gets a new start with a franchise trying to redefine its identity. The Raiders, known for bold moves, might have just pulled off another classic. Everyone's asking the same question: why now? And what does this mean for the future of the Raiders' offensive line? The buzz is deafening, and the timing couldn't be more dramatic, coming just as the team looks to solidify protection for its quarterback and establish a tougher, nastier tone in the trenches. It's not just a signing, it feels like the beginning of something brewing deep in Las Vegas. The Raiders have always been a team that loves chaos, controversy, and confidence, and Mekhi Becton fits that mold perfectly. Standing at 6'7" and weighing well over 300 pounds, Becton is an absolute mountain of a man. When healthy, he can dominate edge rushers like few others in the league, throwing defenders around like rag dolls. But staying on the field has been his Achilles heel, and that's where the big gamble lies. The Raiders are clearly betting on potential over predictability. They're trusting their new offensive staff to tap into the version of Becton that once had scouts calling him a generational talent. The front office seems to believe that a change of scenery, and perhaps the Vegas spotlight, could ignite the fire that's been flickering since his rookie season. Inside sources hint that the Raiders were eyeing him quietly for weeks, waiting for the right moment to strike. Now that the deal is done, the locker room is buzzing, and fans are daring to dream of a rebuilt offensive line that can finally give their quarterback time to operate. This move screams boldness, the kind of swing-for-the-fences mentality that defines Raiders football. Behind the scenes, there's already talk that this wasn't just a spontaneous decision. According to whispers from team insiders, head coach Antonio Pierce had been pushing for a physical tone across the roster, preaching toughness and attitude from day one. And when the opportunity to land Becton appeared, the front office didn't hesitate. Some insiders say Becton had been on the team's radar since training camp, with quiet communication lines kept open between his representatives and Las Vegas executives. This move wasn't about filling a roster hole. It was about sending a message. The Raiders want to bully teams again, control the trenches, and return to the gritty, intimidating style that made the franchise legendary. Adding a player like Becton is a statement, not just to fans, but to every defensive line in the AFC West. With Kansas City, Denver, and Los Angeles all boasting aggressive pass rushers, Las Vegas knows it needs muscle and attitude up front. This isn't just strategy, it's identity building, and it feels like the Raiders are setting the tone for a new era of football in Sin City, one rooted in physicality and pride. Of course, not everyone is convinced this is a home run move. Critics are already pointing to Becton's injury history, his weight management struggles, and the inconsistency that defined his time in New York. They argue that potential doesn't win games, availability does. But supporters counter that the Raiders are exactly the kind of team that can take a player like Becton and unleash his best self. The environment in Vegas is different. It's rowdy, intense, and fueled by energy that can turn doubt into motivation. Becton has something to prove, not just to the league, but to himself. After years of being labeled a disappointment, this could be his redemption arc. And if there's any franchise that loves a comeback story, it's the Raiders. Think about it. A former first-round pick written off as a bust finds his rhythm again under the bright lights of Allegiant Stadium, paving the way for a rejuvenated offense. That's the kind of storyline that turns into legend if it works. And for Becton, this is his chance to flip the narrative once and for all. What's even more intriguing is how this move changes the locker room dynamics. Sources close to the team suggest Becton's arrival has already sparked new energy among the offensive linemen. Veterans are excited, rookies are watching closely, and the coaching staff seems fired up about what this physical presence could mean for the run game. The Raiders have been desperate to establish consistency up front, and having a road grader like Becton could finally open up running lanes that have been missing for seasons. Imagine Josh Jacobs, or whoever takes the lead in the backfield, running behind a healthy, angry Becton. That's a scary sight for defenses. But this also raises questions. Who shifts positions? Who loses snaps? And how will chemistry develop? Offensive line cohesion isn't built overnight, and the coaching staff knows they'll need patience. Still, the tone in Vegas feels optimistic. This is more than a roster adjustment. It's a spark. And if Becton can channel his raw potential into disciplined dominance, the Raiders might have just stolen one of the offseason's biggest surprises. The broader NFL world is buzzing, and you can feel it everywhere from social media to sports talk shows. Analysts are dissecting every angle, comparing Becton's move to past Raiders gambles that paid off or blew up spectacularly. Some say this could be the start of a revitalized franchise culture, while others see it as another risky experiment that might implode under pressure. But one thing is certain, everyone's watching now. The Raiders have once again stolen the spotlight, and that's exactly where they love to be. As one insider put it, Vegas doesn't play it safe, they play it loud. And with Mekhi Becton now in the mix, the noise just got a lot louder. Whether he becomes the cornerstone of a rebuilt offensive line or another what could have been story, the narrative is electric. The city of Las Vegas thrives on spectacle, and this signing fits right into that script. The question now is simple but thrilling. Will Mekhi Becton's Raiders chapter be the comeback of the year, or another roll of the dice in Sin City's wild football saga? The reaction across the NFL has been absolutely wild since the announcement broke. Reporters are scrambling for details, podcasts are dedicating entire episodes to breaking down the signing, and fans are split right down the middle. For Raiders Nation, this feels like a potential turning point, the kind of move that could redefine the offensive identity for years to come. For skeptics, it feels like a high-risk bet that could go either way. What's undeniable, though, is that Mekhi Becton brings something the Raiders have been missing: sheer intimidation. You can't teach size, and you can't fake presence. When Becton steps on the field, defenders notice. His combination of reach and leverage gives him an edge few players can match when his technique holds up. Las Vegas might be the perfect environment for him to reset mentally and physically. The franchise's history is filled with redemption stories, and if Becton embraces that culture, this could be the rebirth his career desperately needed. No one knows how this will play out, but every sign points to a fascinating chapter ahead for both player and team, and the NFL is watching closely. Inside sources claim that this signing was more strategic than it appears. The Raiders didn't just want another lineman. They wanted a tone setter, someone who could embody the toughness and swagger that defines the franchise. Antonio Pierce reportedly pushed hard for a player who could set the tone in the trenches, someone who could protect the quarterback and intimidate defenses before the snap. Becton fits that mold perfectly. He's young, powerful, and still has something to prove, which makes him dangerous in all the right ways. In closed-door meetings, team executives discussed how Becton's physical dominance could anchor a line that's been unstable for years. The plan seems clear. Give him the structure, give him the support, and let him dominate. And if it clicks, it changes everything. The Raiders haven't had that kind of cornerstone up front in years, and bringing in Becton could finally stabilize the unit. It's not just a roster addition, it's a mindset shift. The message is clear. The Raiders are done playing soft. They're building a wall of attitude, and Becton is now the face of that transformation. But the challenges ahead are real. Becton's conditioning has always been under scrutiny, and the Vegas heat won't make things any easier. Reports suggest the team is already crafting a specialized training and nutrition plan to get him in peak shape before the season opener. The organization knows that talent alone won't cut it. Consistency will. The coaching staff has to keep him motivated, focused, and ready for the grind. Yet, there's optimism in the air. Becton's social media activity since the announcement has shown a different tone, more focused, more determined, more personal. He's been vocal about wanting to prove people wrong, and Vegas might be the perfect stage for that redemption arc. Every great Raiders story has a bit of chaos and a bit of glory, and this move has both. If Becton can stay healthy and lock in, this could be the start of something big. The team believes in him, the city's behind him, and for the first time in a while, the Raiders' offensive line looks like it might have a real anchor again. Fans are already dreaming big. You can feel the excitement in comments, tweets, and videos all over social media. The idea of Becton leading a bruising, dominant offensive front has Raiders Nation buzzing. The fan base, long starved for consistency, finally sees hope in the trenches. Imagine a healthy Becton, locking down the left side, giving the quarterback the time to breathe and receivers the chance to create magic. The vision of an offense that doesn't just survive, but dictates tempo is intoxicating. Fans are sharing throwback highlights of Becton pancaking defenders, labeling them Vegas vibes. It's a new energy, a spark of belief that maybe, just maybe, the Raiders are turning the corner. There's a mix of excitement and defiance in the air. The doubters are loud, but Raiders fans are louder. They've always embraced the underdog mentality, and Becton fits right into that narrative. If he comes out strong in training camp, the hype will explode. This is more than a roster move. It's the kind of emotional jolt that makes fans believe again. Meanwhile, analysts are dissecting what this means for the AFC West. Facing the Chiefs, Broncos, and Chargers twice a year means dealing with elite pass rushers like Chris Jones and Khalil Mack. The Raiders have struggled to protect their quarterbacks in these matchups, and this signing could be the first real answer to that problem. If Becton can neutralize those threats, it changes the entire offensive equation. The playbook opens up, the offense gains rhythm, and the Raiders can finally play their game instead of reacting. But again, it all comes down to health and discipline. The coaching staff's biggest challenge will be turning Becton's potential into production week after week. If they succeed, this signing might go down as one of the smartest under-the-radar moves of the year. If not, it risks becoming another what-if story in Raiders history. For now, though, the optimism outweighs the skepticism. Becton's fresh start feels like the right move at the right time for a team desperate to reassert its identity in the NFL's toughest division. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. As the dust settles, one thing's clear. Mekhi Becton's arrival in Las Vegas isn't just another off-season headline. It's a symbol. It represents everything the Raiders have always stood for: risk, rebellion, and redemption. The franchise thrives on betting big, and this move is the latest roll of the dice in their relentless pursuit of greatness. Whether it pays off or not, it's undeniably exciting. The anticipation is electric, the speculation endless, and the story far from over. For Becton, this is a crossroads moment. For the Raiders, it's a statement of intent. The city that never sleeps now has another reason to buzz, as fans wait to see if the big man can live up to the massive expectations placed on his shoulders. Maybe this is the move that shifts the Raiders' future. Maybe it's just another wild chapter in their unpredictable saga. Either way, one thing's certain: Vegas loves a show, and with Mekhi Becton in black and silver, the show is just getting started. Off-field speculation surrounding Waddle's signing is equally intense, as fans and media alike explore how his presence could shift team culture, fan engagement, and even the Raiders' brand identity. Rumors suggest that his influence extends beyond game day, with social media engagement, merchandise sales, and fan interactions already reaching unprecedented levels in anticipation of his debut. Analysts are discussing the symbolic significance of the move, framing Waddle as a player capable of energizing both the team and the fan base, revitalizing the Raiders' image, and signaling a renewed commitment to an explosive, dynamic style of play. The narrative is supported by leaked reports of enthusiastic locker room interactions, high-energy training sessions, and collaborative drills designed to integrate Waddle into the team's strategy as quickly as possible. Fans are particularly engaged in speculation about which plays will become signature moments, how his presence will affect Carr's performance, and how rival teams will respond to this newfound offensive threat. Media coverage amplifies every rumor, producing feature segments, interviews, and analytical breakdowns that fuel anticipation, creating an ecosystem of expectation around Waddle's every move. The combined effect is a whirlwind of rumor, hype, and anticipation that merges on-field tactical potential with off-field cultural impact, leaving no aspect of the Raiders' season untouched by the excitement surrounding their new star. Discussions, predictions, and analyses continue to grow daily, weaving a story in which Waddle is positioned not just as a player, but as a catalyst for transformation, a figure who could redefine what fans expect from Las Vegas football, and a symbol of a team aiming to rise to elite status in the NFL. Finally, as preseason approaches and Waddle begins to take the field in practice and scrimmages, the speculation reaches its peak, with analysts, insiders, and fans trying to predict exactly how quickly he will impact the Raiders' offensive identity. Rumors suggest that his first few games will be critical in establishing chemistry with Derek Carr, testing defensive reactions, and demonstrating how seamlessly he can integrate into high-pressure situations. Fans are dissecting every highlight, imagining scenarios in which his speed and precise route running turn ordinary plays into highlight reel moments, reshaping the narrative of the Raiders' offense. Analysts continue to project statistical surges, improvements in efficiency metrics, and increased scoring potential, while also debating how opposing teams might adjust in response to his presence. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.